Hey, what's up, you guys? Today I want to talk about something I really haven't seen anybody talk about out there, and it's something that's been on my mind for a while now. Now, when it comes to Nintendo, there's the whole console war with Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sony, but I really don't think that's the case. I've said before, I think Nintendo has won that console war, but whether or not you agree with that, at least you can probably agree on that Nintendo's here to stay. Whether you have an Xbox or a PlayStation or a PC, most people, or at least there's a chunk of people out there that probably have a Nintendo console on the side. They have carved their own lane. It's Nintendo doing their own thing, regardless of the graphics war between Xbox and PlayStation. Nintendo is there, whether it's your primary console or a side piece console. But that said, I don't think Nintendo is really rivaling themselves against Xbox or PlayStation. I think Nintendo really is making a push against Disney. And there's a few things that have been out there that made me think this thought for a while now, but something happened recently. Actually, a couple things happened recently that really cemented this idea for me. Now let's go over the low hanging fruit here about Nintendo versus Disney. Nintendo's opened up the theme park. I think the first one was in Japan. Now there's one, maybe two in the U.S. At the Universal Studios locations in Florida and California. And, they're not as big as Disney World or anything like that. Probably not even as big as Disneyland. But, the theme park, that is, that's the first thing, and again, Nintendo is really that family brand, okay? Much like how Disney is too. So both of them very common. You wouldn't see a theme park for Xbox or PlayStation. Not that they would want to do that, but you just wouldn't see that. And having that like family brand thing, like I know, like, with kids myself, as they get older, yeah, definitely gonna want to take them to Nintendo World. I mean, we'll probably take them to Disney also, but like, I'm a little excited for Nintendo World. It's something that I can get into a little bit too. Not that I would go by myself, but and there's nothing wrong with that if you do want to go to Nintendo World by yourself. But again, there's that opportunity for that like that family friendly thing. Obviously, we know with their games are like that too, with Mario Party stuff like that. So definitely we got some low hanging fruit there with the competition. That idea was in my mind for a little bit, but again, it's like okay, other things have theme parks. We're not talking about like Harry Potter going after Disney with with Universal Studios and all that. Little other breadcrumbs here and there. Nintendo, they've been doing all this weird stuff. They opened up that museum in Japan, which is really a tourist attraction. Continue to expand their brand outside of just games. And not as big. Nintendo stores like the one in New York. That's also largely been a tourist attraction. I know as a kid, I always wanted to go to New York and go to the Nintendo store in the Pokemon Center. And there's more Nintendo stores popping up. I think like one more over like in California, but hopefully they do more. I wish that there were some always within driving distance from everybody. Maybe like 3 or 4 hour driving. Oh, that'd be cool. But again, take that one as you wish or as you'd like. Movies, so Disney, obviously they're huge on movies. Disney isn't a gaming company. Nintendo is a gaming company. So again, how am I comparing that these going to be a new rivalry between these two? So Nintendo has released the Mario movie back in 2023, and I remember that one dropped on Netflix. That was always in the top 10, like for its entire time on Netflix. I'm pretty sure it's pulled since then, but for the whole time that Mario movie was on Netflix, it was in the top 10. And I do remember going to like some local like dog, I don't know if it was a Halloween or a Christmas event where like bring your dogs to like a vet. They had like some food trucks and stuff. I remember standing in line, me and my wife were standing in line for a food truck, and there were just like some kids there, a little group of kids, and they were singing the peaches, 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 peaches. And I'm just like, those kids aren't on the internet making posts or anything like that. Uh, and I'm just like, wow, this movie has really resonated like with that. And also, you got like the Minecraft movie, kind of very similar deal. How that really resonated with like younger kids, and that's like what Disney like used to be. I remember growing up on like Disney animation, like in those was it the Disney Renaissance era? Is that what they call it? We got like Little Mermaid and Hercules. Remember Hercules with McDonald's with the plates? Everybody had those plates back then. If you're older, you probably remember. I know like my grandparents had those. It's like that Disney had that IP that was family friendly for everybody. And Nintendo's positioned very similarly. So they're making pushes into movies too, which again was a similarity, but still we're still not there where like I was really cemented in this idea. that they're rivals because of course like who doesn't have movies? Like Sony's making movies, cool. But and when you see the Mario movie, I too first thought it was like, oh, Mario versus Sonic, and like Sonic's kind of destroying Nintendo at this point because they've released like three movies and a TV miniseries very fast with Knuckles, and Nintendo's taking their sweet time with their Mario movie, with their Zelda movie. Now, granted, Nintendo, I do hold a little bit of trust in them with them taking their time. Miyamoto's heavily involved. Like they're really protective of their IP, so that means less content for us in terms of frequency. But they've been a company for over 100 years. Okay, so they're probably looking at this as like their next 100-year plan and growth. Like they have tons of money, no rush. If you look at their stock, ever since the Switch 2 came out, it shot up. I considered selling. I do own some shares of Nintendo, and I considered selling, but I am in it for the long run. So whatever. I haven't sold, but they've been holding very steady at this higher number, which has been pretty crazy. I've been waiting for like people to take their profits, but it hasn't happened. Um, so they're really taking their time, and I kind of can think about that with like Zelda, the Zelda movie being live action, which seemed really jarring. Like they actually are going live action. Miyamoto's involved with that, but like when you look at the Mario movie and Zelda and how slow they're going, I am kind of like viewing this as like they're doing this huge experiment of like you have Mario movie, which Mario and Zelda are their two biggest IPs. So you have Mario and making that animated, and Zelda with live action. I think they're really using their top two IP, maybe testing the waters because they probably could do an animated Zelda movie, but with Illumination working on Mario, maybe they don't have another studio to really work with to have those resources for that. And yeah, I know everyone or a lot of people online vocally are like, "Oh, we want like a Smash universe, cinematic universe," and it's just like I don't know. I don't think people really know what they want. Like it sounds cool on paper, but that's just like an idea. That's just person in the room, the idea guy in the room. Yeah, I mean, where do you go from there? Look at Marvel. Ever since Infinity War, great run, but now it's a mess. Like at some point, like everything's gonna fall apart. So probably keeping them as their own like separate series and franchise and everything is probably the way to go. Especially with Zelda. Zelda's live action right now. Maybe it's a trilogy. I think there's been talk about that the actors had to sign contracts for three movies, which is cool. But I think like having a live action Zelda movie doesn't like exclude in the future that there could be an animated movie. I mean, like Transformers, we have live action. We have animated. Transformers One was animated. Uh, Spider-Man has been rebooted three times. Just like again, I think they're thinking more long-term, 100-year plan. Like they're in no rush. Like we are in a rush. We want more content now, now, now. But they're not. But again, when you look at that now, 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 and now content, look at Disney. Disney is almost like the Microsoft of like entertainment. They had to acquire Marvel and um, Star Wars. Now, I think they might have like acquired Pixar at one point. I'm not sure if Pixar was originally Disney from the get go. I'm pretty sure that they purchased them. So like everything like Disney right now, like who's our main character? Like Disney's version of Mario is Mickey Mouse, but you don't see like new Mickey Mouse stuff. Like Mario, we still get games, we're getting movies like for all ages. Like they have the new Nintendo like toy blocks, really aiming towards like toddlers or younger, like babies. Mario's for all ages, and so Mickey Mouse should be too. I know like I feel like in like older movies or TV shows, so you see like older people with like Mickey Mouse tattoos or like Popeye tattoos. But there's like you have Mickey Mouse. I only would feel like I would see that at like Disney World. Like maybe they still make like kid cartoons like Disney Junior or something, but like I don't see it or hear anything about it. But like again, when you compare it to Mario, they're very similar characters, very similar IP. But like modern Disney, they really had to expand and like purchase Marvel and Star Wars. Never really did anything good with Star Wars. I have like all the Star Wars for like even like the Disney Plus releases on 4K Steelbook, and like I've been watching all of them. I enjoy Star Wars. I enjoy Marvel. Like even like obviously up until Infinity War, like the original like first three phases of Marvel, awesome, fantastic. Then Disney Plus came out, and they need to have like a constant stream of original content, and like they pretty much altered a Marvel show, a Star Wars show, Marvel Star Wars, Marvel Star Wars, Marvel Star Wars, and the quality just went down. And then I haven't even watched like the past few Marvel shows. I think like I got burnt out on Star Wars Acolyte. That was like the final straw. I haven't watched Skeleton Crew. Like maybe it's actually pretty good. I heard it's not bad, like it's Goonies in space, but I just haven't watched it yet. It's just kind of like honestly just holding out till like the kids are old enough to watch it, and then I can experience it for the first time with them. And so again, people want a lot of Nintendo content right now in terms of movies, like Mario movie, Zelda movie taking forever, but at the same time, they release like Marvel is releasing all this stuff so fast that the quality goes down that no one wants to watch it. So I do think the slow and steady wins the race really plays a role in this. And so, as Nintendo grows, um, yeah, you can kind of see like on the film side that there's a lot of opportunity there with movies. We have a ton of IP. Like, yeah, maybe not a Super Smash Brothers like universe, but you can see that there's a lot of opportunities for movies and their IP to have fleshed out stories, whether it be movies. I think they're also said that they're looking into TV shows, but TV shows can mean a lot of things. Whether it's CGI animation like Mario, whether it's live action like Sonic or Knuckles, like that mix of live action and like CGI, of course. Uh, but also like maybe people don't know about it, but Nintendo does have some manga, which the anime industry is really booming. Also, I'm huge into anime as well, and I know like maybe a lot of the manga from Nintendo are geared at younger ages. Like there's Splatoon and Kirby manga. Even like the Mario one, only like one volume of a compilation of some chapters came out in North America, but that's like a lot of like potty humor and stuff like that. The Zelda one's cool though. They have Zelda and like Twilight Princess. That's very cool. But like just because those exist doesn't mean like more can't exist. Like they can really expand in like manga and like the anime territory. Okay, but that's cool. Disney doesn't do any of that, so like I guess they do own comic books, Marvel and Star Wars comics, so they do have a foothold in that business as well. But again, if you can like imagine like just like an anime, but like a Zelda anime, or like I don't know, you can get crazy with that, like a Kid Icarus anime or something like that. I guess we had Kirby right back at you, and we have Pokemon. Nintendo owns one third of Pokemon, so there's just a lot of growth with Nintendo's IP when it comes to all of that. But what really sealed the deal for me for a true competitor between these two companies had to be when I finished Donkey Kong Bonanza. And if you haven't finished Donkey Kong Bonanza, you can also experience the same vibe right now with the Kirby Air Riders trailer. Uh, Nintendo's music, they've always held their music in high regards. I mean, they have like an app now that's the only place you can stream their music, the Nintendo Music app, which I do use all the time. Not personally, but it's something that I put on our living room speaker for the kids. Like they like dancing to some of like the Mario Kart music, and I've like put on like Yoshi's Story extended to 60 minutes. I've listened to so much Yoshi's Story opening theme song, but they love it. And so it's a ton of fun. And I'm just like, I'm getting some more use out of my subscription that I'm paying for. But yeah, Nintendo holds their music in really high regards. And so if you beat Donkey Kong Bonanza or watch the Kirby Air Riders trailer, there's something very interesting with their music choice in these, and they've added lyrics to them. And I mean, the only other song like Nintendo song I can imagine with lyrics, like English lyrics. So I mean, maybe the lyrics, depending on what region you're in, maybe they do have different cuts with different vocals. But what really stood out to me with these, with their English lyrics. So yeah, the other one I was talking about was like the Donkey Kong rap, Donkey Kong 64. But yeah, this is nothing like Donkey Kong 64 rap. These songs truly feel like they're ripped right out of a Disney movie. These songs, yeah, definitely you can check out the Kirby Air Riders one either on the trailer, like on YouTube, check it out, or on the Nintendo Music app. Donkey Kong Bonanza, you'd have to like beat the game or like check out a video of someone of like the end credits. These songs really sound like a Disney musical song. Like I feel like I'm watching like I guess I haven't watched a Disney anime movie in a long time. Or I don't know, like Frozen or something. Like it's right out of like Frozen. Some just like these like female vocal, like really powerful, just uplifting songs, and makes the end credits of Bananas awesome. But yeah, these songs feel like they're honestly stripped right out of Disney's playbook, and that was just the icing on the cake for me. When I heard that at the end of Donkey Kong Bonanza, I was truly just like, wow, like this is a Disney song. And just everything that I mentioned before in this video of just like these like breadcrumb ideas of like Nintendo like actually like competing against Disney. That just tied it all together for me. Because where are they gonna take that? They're like really presenting their games as like these premium experience, kind of like this hole that like Disney left. I mean, all those movies I'm talking about. I guess yeah, I haven't seen many recent Pixar movies. Those big IP like Little Mermaid, Lion King, all that they just butchered them with all these live action adaptations, which maybe are fine. Like I'll probably watch some of them, like again, like with the kids as they get older. But I'm also gonna show them like the good ones. But like it's not like they like took these IP and expanded on them or anything. And maybe that's like the issue with those IP just being movies, where you have Nintendo, they have like 20 or 30, what is it? No, Mario's coming up to their 40th anniversary, so like 40 years worth of games with all these IP. I mean, you look at Smash Brothers and all these IP, and just the sky's the limit. I mean, like again, Mario. How do you make a movie out of Mario? And they did it with Mario movie, and like you can reboot it. I mean, I guess they have like that like 80s version of the Mario movie, which I'm sure Nintendo would like to forget. But like they're just like there's no reason you can't like reboot these and make more content. If you look at, I mean, they have the Nintendo Music app. They treat that all high and mighty. You'd have to imagine that eventually, like, they're going to put these movies on Netflix for a limited time and on other streaming services. But once they have enough in their portfolio, you got to imagine they'd be adding these movies and TV shows that they already said that they're looking to expand into. That they would have their own like video streaming service. I mean, again, this is like 100-year thing, but we're gonna see this way sooner than that. Probably within the next 10 years, you have like Mario movie, Zelda, and Mario movie 2 on a streaming service or whatever. Maybe they'll do something where they combine with Pokemon too, since they are already own 1/3. That would really pad out that content. Um, and then you got some retro stuff out there too, if they really like even want to acknowledge its existence. I don't think you can even watch Kirby right back at you anywhere. Um, or even like buy it on physical media or anything like that. And so yeah, just like I don't know, it's really interesting that like you look at Disney where they have their biggest IP, like just like classic Disney stuff like Mickey Mouse, Lion King, Hercules. It's either non-existent or just butchered with a live action, and then just like useless live action spin-offs. I think like what Mufasa or whatever. I haven't seen that. No excitement or interest for that. But again, I don't know. Maybe I'll watch it someday. But yeah, you can just imagine. And then you have Marvel. They milked Marvel dry. Hopefully, Marvel can make a comeback. I don't want like any of the content to be bad. I mean, like good Disney, good Nintendo, good PlayStation, good Xbox. The more good content out there, the more we win. I'm not rooting for anything to particularly fail here. But it hasn't been like fantastic. It's like almost they ran out of ideas and moving too fast, and it's just a cluster. Same with Star Wars. I'm not rooting for Star Wars to be bad. I like Star Wars. Sometimes it's cool to have a consistent stream of content like coming out every week. Alternate Marvel, Star Wars, Marvel, Star Wars. But then the quality goes bad, you get burnt out, and then you take some years off, and like then yeah, I might go back and binge it. But yeah, I don't know. Something about Nintendo slow and steady wins the race. Like, yeah, do these songs that are starting to appear in the Switch 2 generation games. Because you got Donkey Kong and Kirby Air Riders, two of the first two games. I have to imagine this style of music with these songs. This like it just adds a little more to the I don't know, the premium feeling of these Nintendo Switch 2 games and like just their brand in general. That like is this going to bleed into future movies? I know probably not like the Zelda movie being live action, that really like that wouldn't fit in, and maybe not the Mario movie 2, though there were songs in the first, I guess songs like the Peaches song in the first one, which was people's favorite part. But are they going to I don't know, maybe they'll introduce like Daisy or like Rosalina or something, and like maybe they'll put like a spin on, or maybe Pauline will show up and sing in Mario movie 2, or maybe I think they were even talking about making a Donkey Kong spinoff movie, so I don't know how closely that would be like on brand with Bonanza. It can make sense because I think the new model for Donkey Kong and Bonanza and Mario Kart World was modeled off of the Mario movie model of Donkey Kong. So if they do make a proper Donkey Kong movie, which would be the same Donkey Kong from Mario movie 1, which, oh, there's a cinematic universe, but um yeah, and if Pauline's in there, maybe they do bring one of those songs into that movie in particular. And then, I don't know, maybe they choose some TV show that would fit that bill. Maybe Kirby, maybe they do something with Kirby. Uh, because since they already have that, they're getting that kind of branding and vibe in Kirby Air Riders, even though it's just the intro and it's a racing game. Who knows? But like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. For me personally, when I start thinking about uh, the comparisons between Nintendo and Disney, it really feels like the sky is the limit. And I mean, Nintendo is doing better than ever. Like I said, check out their stock prices. If that's not something that you're into or tracking, like check it out. You see, once the Switch 2 came up, it like almost like doubled. Like it's gone crazy. And then I kind of see like it's still like halfway as big as Disney, and that because Disney makes, they're way bigger. They have the bigger theme park. They do have a lot of massive IP, big blockbuster movies, and yeah, like Marvel and Disney, they are for all ages. They are like the family stuff, but they've been they've been on the decline in terms of quality, and eventually that's going to break, especially when they start upping the price of Disney Plus, and you see all the streaming services are going to start upping their prices. And that's not to exclude Nintendo Switch Online, like they'll be upping their prices, but again, like they do add more content. Nintendo Switch Online is a fantastic deal right now, even with the expansion pack. And like, yeah, they added the music, which like again, like I wouldn't have cared about it if it wasn't for me having kids and finding that utility for it. But I do enjoy the utility for it, and like I did like lose my subscription at one point, and when it ran out, we were like, oh no, like we need this because like this is part of our day to day vibe, like for like the month, with like entertaining the kids. And it's like they're like they want the speaker on, like turn it on, turn the music on. And I'm like, oh no, my subscription's out. I don't have access to the music, so like I needed that for a bit. Um, but yeah, you can imagine like if they start adding, with Disney Plus becoming more expensive, quality going down. And if Nintendo can release, some more movies, some more shows, and then like start adding that into like just Nintendo Switch Online, so you pay for the service, you get all the retro games, you get online, even though the online play should really be free. Like, let's be honest, it's 2025. Um, and you get the music, like whoop de doo. It's like that's not that great, but it's like it's something. But if you add that the movies and TV, I think that would actually be a really big potential like lane for growth for them. I couldn't tell you how much money they're making from licensing that on Netflix. I'm pretty sure it's off of Netflix. I don't know if Mario movie is on anything else. Maybe it's on Paramount. I'm not sure where that movie might be available for streaming. I have it on the 4K disc up there, and I will continue to support that. So I don't know how they would balance that. And I know like again they're probably doing some kind of split cut with at least with Illumination Studio and whatever the studio they're partnered with. But like, again, that's something that just like enhances their brand, having those movies and the TV show. And they're going slow and steady to get that quality. And just like, with the theme parks and the tourist attractions, and they're like, in the games, if they're taking that, like if the Switch 2 games are really going to like take it up a level of quality, uh in terms of like vibe. So like obviously graphics, like still like the PlayStation 5, our high-end PC has better graphic games. Nintendo has their like cartoony art style. There's only so far you could take that art style. um the graphic, because of the art style and the nature of it, like it's only going to look so good. um yeah, you got to imagine that like with those songs taken to the next level, like is that going to bleed into movies and stuff? Is that going to capture that same magic, like when people experience those songs in games? The more games that come out, uh maybe we see something like Pokemon. That I think that would really elevate Pokemon a little bit. um if they see those kind of songs and that kind of vibe, is that going to pull like on nostalgia strings for people who are nostalgic for like just that older Disney, uh those older Disney movies that like Disney isn't, I don't think Disney is meeting that need and, and filling that. There's like a hole in the market there. And Nintendo has the IP. I think they have the foundation and the bones to compete in that space, something that PlayStation and Xbox just do not have. And like, I don't think Nintendo needs to compete with PlayStation or Xbox. I think they've had their own lane ever since the Wii era. Whether you main Nintendo, whether you have multiple consoles like me, Nintendo's always been in second place or main for me. And even if Nintendo's your main console, that does not mean like you need to shun PlayStation or Xbox or PC. Like, game because you love gaming. Um, Yeah, I think Nintendo won the console war. I do think Nintendo won the console war. I think now they've opened the doors where third parties can really, uh, support and like be on Nintendo, and they feel like they have to be on Nintendo. We got like Madden back on Nintendo. We have Star Wars Outlaws. That game, like not even that great of a game, I don't think, but people are praising it because it was a good port. And just early on, I know like dev kits haven't really got out to many third party studios. So when it comes to like early launch of Nintendo Switch 2, like there might be like it might feel lacking to some people that there's all these old games or maybe not like incredible ports, but wait till year 3 of Switch 2, man. Like it's going to be, I feel like it's going to be on par with Xbox and PlayStation for third parties, because like third parties are going to, there's a lot too much money on the table to skip out on the Switch 2. And so people aren't going to want to do that. And I think that's going to lower the threshold for like just how far do they want to like progress a game in terms of graphics capabilities. They don't want to like not be on Switch 2. And you look at the handheld PC market, like they can't put a dent in the Switch 2. Like no matter what they're trying to do, if the Steam Deck can't do it, I don't see anybody truly being able to do it, uh, not properly. I don't if especially, and then you have like PlayStation, Xbox putting their games in other consoles where Nintendo's not going to do that, which makes their just IP just more premium, more exclusive. And yeah, just you can say what you want about that. It all depends on like your age and where you're at in life. I mean, I mained like Xbox 360 in high school and even college, and like just eventually as I got older just like realized like you get nostalgic for Nintendo again. I think Nintendo is like, since it's family friendly, that's probably people's first experience as kids, and then they grow up and then they are old enough to experience these really cool awesome games, which are still awesome, but obviously more mature, more targeted towards that teenage and young adult audience. But then you get older and you get nostalgic and realize like, wow, like these games are actually good and fun since I've been playing all these other games and I have all this experience. Like these Nintendo games are truly fun to play, and they're good for all ages too. So those are experiences I can share with my kids also. So they're just a lot of long term like stuff with that. So yeah, I mean like whether you think that, I do think that Nintendo, yeah, I mean I don't know, that's like speculation, but I do think that like Nintendo versus Disney, I do think that is kind of where like it seems like that they're pushing. And I think that puts a lot of explanation to all these other little things they're doing, like the theme park, the museum, all these just like tiny little things that seem random. It's like, why are you wasting your time on this? We just want more games. But I think probably to them, in terms of their growth, it's bigger than that. And I don't know, maybe again, like I think it would be cool, like as someone who gamed his whole life, to yeah, like I watched Disney movies when I was a kid, but it'd be really cool, like for me, like I sitting on the couch with kids watching like a kid show. If that kid show was like a Nintendo IP property, if it was the Mario movie, if it was a Donkey Kong movie, those would be fun things to go to the theater. I think that's why Sonic Sonic's been super popular. Minecraft might be a little too like wild, like too wild and weird for me. Like I don't think I would like the Minecraft movie. But I loved the Mario movie, but whether or not it was like a good movie, it was a fun movie, like a roller coaster ride that you get on. It was just fun. It was a good time. It did what it have to do. And like if that's a show that's on, if that's a movie that's in my living room on repeat for hours, I would enjoy that, versus something like live action Lion King, which is just like, okay, cool. You guys really like giant lions. Um, yeah. Let me know down in the comments what you think of uh Nintendo versus Disney. Like, have you thought similar things already, or is this the first time you're like, did this video like kind of even put the idea in your mind for the first time and get you thinking about it? And then yeah, let me know what you think about Nintendo stacking up against Xbox and PlayStation. Am I crazy about all this, or I don't know, are you feeling the same vibes too? And yeah, at the time of this video, we're almost at 100 subscribers. So, if you've enjoyed it, if you're one of the few that made this far, like and subscribe. But also, if you're one of the few that made this far that's already liked and subscribed, and we've been talking in the comments and stuff, really appreciate you guys the most. I see the analytics that like some people like actually watch like the entire videos and like it. And I know we talk in the comments. We've had some good back and forth conversation in the comments, and that's been making me making these videos just a ton of fun to do, and I've been really enjoying it, having fun. Make sure to follow me on Twitter. I'll leave a link to that below. I've been doing like some giveaways. I got some extra Steam keys from like that one Humble bundle I made a video on. If you're a subscriber that watched it, if not, there was like a Humble bundle that had like 12 games, and that was like the first one I bought since starting this channel. And I like buying Humble bundles from time to time. But this one had like 16 keys for like $12. I actually had two of them, and so I was just like, I'm gonna give them away. And just like I don't know the I guess my method for doing it that I'm comfortable with is on Twitter. That's the way I feel like I can make it fair. And I'd like to give it away to like the community here that's actually talking and interacting with me in these videos and watching them, and that's a fan. But when you do the giveaways on Twitter, you're gonna get those people who just like have accounts only to try to do giveaways and just mooch off of giveaways. So I want to make it fair. They can win, but I'd rather it go to like you guys who are actually watching and hopefully having a good time. And again, making it to this part of the video that like um, that you're actually watching. You're actually watching the videos and liking and subscribing. So yeah, thank you guys, and almost at 100. Like maybe I might sound this video a little bit, to be honest. So maybe by the time this comes out, it will be at 100. Who knows? So yeah, if you follow on Twitter, you can get some more live responses from me and interaction. I'll reply to anything you guys. If you guys want to talk on Twitter, we could do that. But yeah, trying to grow the YouTube channel. And if I make these videos, which I can make them faster than I release them, because if I release too many a week, I've noticed that since I'm such a small channel, the YouTube algorithm, like, it'll stop pushing it. Like sometimes it takes like two or 3 days, or maybe even 4 days to like push the video out. Usually 3 is like a good number. And that's if it doesn't push it out, or if I release a video before I push it out, then it'll like kill that video and like stop pushing it and like just only focus on the new one. I think that's something with just being a small channel. And so like I just been giving some time and waiting and giving it a chance, because it's more fun when I'm able to talk to you guys in the comments about these videos. And yeah, just growing the channel is fun. It's a fun hobby. Enjoy doing it. And yeah, thank you guys for being here. If you made it this far, we're on 30 minutes. This is a new record. So yeah, we'll see how they do. I think YouTube likes long videos, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, see you guys in the next one. Later.